One of, if not the most important aspects of gaming is your audio setup. The depth of immersion and information that's communicated through environmental and UI sound cues is paramount to having a good experience. Yet many gamers are kind of clueless when it comes to setting up audio correctly and will spend most of their gaming life at a huge disadvantage or not experiencing the full depth of games because they simply don't know how to optimize their experience properly. Today, I want to give you all of the tools and information that you need to improve the quality and accuracy of your game's sound. I want to start with one of the most important aspects of good gaming audio, and that's just choosing the right set of headphones. That said, this video is timestamped, so if you want to skip ahead to, say, in-game settings and software, feel free to do so. Also, I'll be linking any of the products that I've mentioned in the description with affiliate links, so clicking them will give me a small kickback when you purchase something. Using those links will help support me to make more content like this. Alright, so headphones. These are pretty much the best way to receive high quality positional game audio. But I know that not all of you are using headphones because every now and then somebody leaves their mic on voice activated and we can all hear their gameplay audio in the background. Something you shouldn't hear if they have headphones on.
We're getting some good B-roll here.
Using monitor speakers or a soundbar or desktop speakers is simply never going to give you good positional game audio. Unless you have some sort of insane, perfectly tuned surround sound system with speakers all around you, you'll probably never be quite as competitive as somebody on a good pair of headphones. But somewhat ironically, the headphones that are most marketed to gamers are actually not very good for gaming, at least not competitive gaming. They often deliver muddy audio quality and poor soundstage, making it hard to locate enemies or notice important details and sound cues. Deeper bass and gimmicky features like surround sound drivers are used to sway the average gamer away from what they actually need for a good gaming experience. However, one of the problems that gamers run into is that we actually do need a good microphone solution to play with friends, and most good headphones don't have a built-in mic. That's where buying gaming headphones makes a lot of sense. They're set up with everything you need to get started at an extremely low entry price, so it's not surprising that so many gamers use them. Some brands like Audio-Technica and Sennheiser offer higher quality headphones with built-in mics for gamers, but even so, they are not always the best options or the cheapest. Sometimes just getting a separate microphone input from your headset can be the best way, and I'll be covering both integrated mics and standalone options in this video. Now, when researching gaming headphones, you'll hear terms like soundstage, sound imaging, and sound signature thrown around a lot. Soundstage is basically how wide or immersive the sound appears. Good soundstage makes you feel like the audio is in the room with you and fully surrounds you. In games, it can help you with immersion and determining distance to the source of a sound. Imaging is the quality and accuracy of positional audio such as footsteps. Good imaging is what makes the sound of somebody walking behind you sound like they're actually behind you and not just near you in a more general direction. And sound signature is the general frequency balance of the headphones, like how much bass they have versus how much high-pitched sounds. A flatter sound signature is often better for games since it won't make important frequencies harder to hear. Also, when it comes to choosing your headphone style, you'll want to figure out if you prefer closed back or open back design. Closed back headphones help to remove outside noises, and they let you focus on the game alone. These are perfect for when you're not in a quiet space. Open back headphones generally offer a more natural sound and less heat buildup around your ears, but they won't keep out environmental sounds, so they're not really ideal for those noisy spaces, and they can also be heard by somebody who's maybe standing close to you. So with some of that terminology out of the way, let's talk about great gaming headphone options, going from least expensive to the most expensive. Now, there's a lot of great headphones in the sub $100 category. The Koss KPH40s and the Porta Pros are honestly just budget kings. They're open back and they do sit on your ears, which isn't always ideal for comfort, but their sound quality is just unbeatable at this price point. Unlike a lot of cheap headphones, Koss offers a good sound signature that isn't boomy or thin, and your game audio will be incredibly clear. These are great headphones for somebody who really appreciates the minimalist design. Now, if you can increase your budget a little bit, the Philips SHP 9500s are one of the go-to recommendations for gaming headphones. They improve on basically everything that the cost stuff does, while also being over the ear, so they're just more comfortable. Now, personally, if I could only use one headphone for under $100, I would recommend the Audio-Technica ATH AD500Xs. I've been using these headphones and the next tier up, the AD700Xs, for several years, and honestly, I swear by them. They have a flat sound signature, great soundstage and imaging, plus they're incredibly comfortable. I literally can't wear any headphones that are too tight because I have a larger head, and the Audio-Technicas fit me like a dream. So while these headphones do have great soundstage and imaging, a huge part of the recommendation for me is just the comfort. Now, if you want a closed back option, the Sennheiser HD 569s are typically around $100 and they're incredible. The Sennheiser brand is very well liked among gamers for their high quality sound, and many headphones in their HD 500 series are incredibly popular for competitive play. I've even got some 599s plugged into another editing computer just because they sound so great. Now, if you simply have to have microphone integration to your headset, say you play on console or you just like the convenience, the Massdrop X Sennheiser PC37Xs or the HyperX Cloud 2s for something with a closed back. Cloud 2s are typically around $80 to $100, while you can get the PC37Xs for a little bit more. Both headsets work on PC and console, and they can really simplify things if you just need good cans with that integrated mic and not much else. Now, if you're willing to increase your budget a bit further, the $180 Beyerdynamic DT770 Pros are some of the best sounding closed back headphones below like $1,000. People who like loud explosions and more exciting sound signature without tons of harsh detail will love these. I call them slightly warm sounding. They're great for story-driven games with good sound like, say, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which has a lot of action sequences. These are extremely popular, especially with gamers. They have comfortable pads and they're very user repair friendly. Just keep an eye on the ohm rating when you're buying them. The higher this number, the more power they need, and the DT770s come in 3 variants: 32, 80, and 250 ohms. The 32 ohm version is the one that most people should get unless you have a powerful headphone amp. Now, Audio-Technica's ATH M50Xs are one of the most popular headphones in the world at around $150. I'm not sure I agree with all the hype when it comes to gaming, since they're very aggressive sounding and have a lot of clamping force that can make them uncomfortable unless you break them in a bit. But nonetheless, their popularity is undeniable and they're well liked in terms of their overall sound and quality. Now, if you have about $200 to spend, the Sennheiser HD560S are the gold standard for neutral open back headphones. These are almost perfectly neutral with a slight mid to upper range boost that makes things like footsteps and other important game audio sounds stand out a little bit better. They have a detachable cable, replaceable pads, and are generally very comfortable. Now, of course, there's always going to be people who want to spend big on their audio experience. The Hi-Fi Man Sundaris are planar magnetic headphones that pack a serious punch at $300. The Sennheiser HD600s are like the audiophile budget kings at around the same price. And then if you really want to get crazy with stuff over $1,000, the Sennheiser HD800s are pretty incredible from what I hear. But honestly, these extremely expensive options will offer diminishing returns when it comes to gaming alone, so these, in my opinion, are more worth it if you're doing much more than just gaming. $200 really is the highest I would recommend for primarily gaming headphones though. Now, alternatively, if you prefer in-ear monitors, check out Moondrop's line of in-ear headphones. Their Areas sell for around $80. They sound great, have detachable cables, and are built extremely well. That said, IEMs tend to have worse soundstage and imaging than headphones, so I wouldn't really recommend them if you're planning on playing competitively. When it comes to wireless and or Bluetooth headphones, I don't normally recommend them unless you just have to have the convenience of no wires. Bluetooth will add latency to your audio, which isn't a huge deal for, say, watching movies, but it can be an absolute deal breaker for gaming. Our auditory reaction time is much faster than visual reaction time, so having latency for audio is really not ideal for any type of reactionary gaming. But if you simply gotta have wireless, I do have my recommendations. Apple's AirPods and AirPod Pros support all the latest Bluetooth standards, as do Nothing's line of ear sticks and ear 2s. Sennheiser also offers the HD 450 BT over-the-ear headphones that do Bluetooth and wired audio. HyperX's Cloud line of wireless headsets use a 2.4 GHz radio dongle instead of Bluetooth, so they should have superior latency and still offer solid audio quality. Now, to wrap up the whole headphone section, in general, I feel that standalone wired headphones are going to be your best option when your primary goal is gaming. You're going to have a hard time finding a headphone with a mic for, say, $80 that sounds as good as the Philips or Audio-Technica ones that I recommended. Also, a good pair of high-quality headphones can last you a long time compared to some of the cheap gaming stuff that often tends to break after a year or two. Now, say you decided to go for maybe some more high-end headphones, or your motherboard's audio just isn't great and it's giving you a lot of static or noise. You may want to consider using a digital audio converter and/or headphone amplifier. These devices are typically USB powered and can be either standalone or integrated into a single unit. Typically, they're designed to give you more options and drive more powerful headphones like the higher ohm rated DT770 Pros that I mentioned earlier, and they can provide cleaner sound overall. If you want a good, simple, all-in-one unit, the Schiit Audio Fula, that's spelled SCHIIT, is a good starter option. It's both a digital audio converter and amp in one unit. Now, if the audio output of your motherboard is clean but just doesn't provide enough power to drive your headphones, a dedicated amp like the JDS Labs Atom Amp Plus will drive pretty much anything. Just connect it with the standard auxiliary cable to the green line out audio port on your motherboard. Now, digital audio converters can be a variety of things, including full audio mixers with XLR microphone inputs, or just simple USB to 3.5mm converters that power your headphones. Personally, I use high-end audio equipment like the RME Babyface, but it offers additional features like mixing, equalizing, and transmitting digital signals to other interfaces that you really aren't going to need for gaming. At the most basic end, you could try something simple like Apple's USB-C audio dongle. If you're looking for something a little more elegant or with, say, a built-in equalizer, you could pick up Elgato's Wave XLR. Alright, say you want to get into the weeds a little bit more with your audio optimization and you just really like fiddling with your sound quality, you can start to get into equalizers that allow you to isolate certain audio frequencies and then boost them or lower them. Sometimes if a game has bad audio mixing, where say footsteps of other players are really hard to hear around gunfire or explosions, players can start to boost specific frequencies to help them stand out more. SteelSeries offers software called Sonar that gives you lots of control over mixing and filtering options, and it even comes with presets for certain competitive games. It's much easier to use than alternative programs like Voicemeeter, which can be a bit of a buggy mess that only advanced users should really bother with. That said, if you like getting into the more advanced stuff, Equalizer APO is the king of the crop. But it really is for advanced users who like to get technical. Generally, I just stick with Sonar or say Wavelengths software if you have the supported Elgato hardware. Alright, so you can do plenty of equalizing and stuff on the side outside of the game, but when it actually comes to picking your audio settings inside of the game's options and you're using headphones, generally, and this is still debated, but the simple answer is that you want to pick headphones as your audio device whenever possible. It seems obvious, but believe it or not, there's a decent amount of debate about this. Many games these days like Battlefield, Counter-Strike, and Hunt Showdown offer a mix that uses binaural audio or head-related transfer function, aka HRTF audio, to give you surround sound with just regular headphones. How this works can be a little bit more complicated, but the simple version is that the game simulates a human head and places sounds around it where the head can actually block the sound itself, and the result result is usually a very accurate positional audio even with basic headphones. That said, depending on the game and how it's all mixed together and how it handles surround sound versus stereo headphones, some will argue that using software outside of the game to mix a surround sound signal into a stereo headphone output can produce improved positional audio. Now, personally, I believe these cases to be highly circumstantial, taking into account the game, the surround sound emulation software or hardware that you're using, and the type of headphones that you have. If you want to try some of this emulation for yourself, the SteelSeries Sonar software is a good starting place to see if you think the third-party emulation improves your gaming experience. Windows also has a built-in spatial audio option that you can enable in the Settings app under Properties for individual audio devices. Beyond these more simple options, there's a ton of different software and hardware solutions to emulate surround sound, and honestly, it's a rabbit hole. Personally, I don't use it, but I have tried it many years ago with varying degrees of success, or at least perceived success. For the most part, just setting your in-game audio to headphones is, in my opinion, one of the safest and most reliable bets for getting good positional audio. Most modern games these days have very good stereo mixes. Alright, so what about the whole microphone problem, especially if you took my recommendation and bought some headphones without a built-in mic? Well, the sky is the limit when it comes to microphones, just like headphones, but thankfully there's a ton of extremely good, low-cost or almost free options. At the most basic level, if you do have a webcam on your computer, you can simply use the webcam mic. It's not going to sound great, but it'll probably work for basic communication as long as it's on push-to-talk and you don't have like a fan blowing into it or something.
He's on me. I'm on him. Alright, 3 guys on me. I need someone on me.
Now, if you want something that you can clip onto your headphones, Antlion Audio makes 3 options at $55, $85, and $140. Their ModMic Uni, ModMic USB, and ModMic Wireless are all great headset style mics with pretty good noise reduction since the mic is so close to your mouth. They come with magnetic mic mounts that you stick onto the side of your headphones, so they're the easiest to set up and more than adequate for in-game comms. Now, if you want a microphone that sits on your desktop or one that can mount on a swivel arm, you'll get much better audio, but it's going to cost you a little bit more and take up a little more of your gaming space. The Samsung Q2U is a dynamic mic that has both USB and XLR ports. It comes with a desk stand, plus it can be easily mounted on a mic arm. If you don't have a more high-end XLR interface, you're good to go right out of the box with its USB functionality. But if you do have an XLR interface, it's still the best mic for under $100 that I can recommend. Being dynamic means it picks up less background noise. It has a built-in headphone amplifier that's shockingly decent, so you can actually monitor yourself in real time and listen to your PC's audio. And the icing on the cake is that with all this functionality, it's still a fantastic sounding mic. Plus, mic arms are crazy inexpensive now, with many good ones selling for less than 20 bucks. And if you want something nice, you've got Elgato's Wave Arm being pretty awesome for the higher end purchase. Now, there's all kinds of fun and cool audio devices and amps and mixers and whatnot that can give you different kinds of audio functionality and quality, but again, I'm trying not to overwhelm you with all the crazy gadgets and more or less keep this video basic with the best bang for your time and money. I hope this guide helps you get the most out of your game audio experience. And again, none of this has to be overly complicated if you don't want it to. Simply getting a decent pair of headphones can make all the difference. For me, I first realized how much I was missing when I switched from a broken Logitech gaming headset to my golden purple Audio-Technica AD700s, and from there I never looked back. Let me know in the comments if you have a similar epiphany moment for gaming audio. And next up, check out my Getting Into PC Gaming video, which provides a huge amount of resources for how to get started with the world of computer gaming. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.